Hello, everybody. This is Michelle from Michelle's Craft Cottage. If you are here, please say hello and let me know if you're making a card along with me so I know. Hi, Vesta. Let me know if you're making a card with me so I can make sure I'm. Hi, Tony, and shared. Thank you, Tony. So I can make sure to check on you and don't go too fast. This one is rather easy to make, and I used the Delicate Dreams. Yeah, Delicate Dreams. I love that paper. Gonna have to order some more. But hi, Jane. Hi, Susan. Oh, you're all here right on time. And I didn't use any stamp set, and so the paper is pretty much all I wanted to let you know I was using. So this is Michelle from Michelle's Craft Cottage, mystery card number 87. We got to plan something for my 100th, like I did for the 50. Anyway, so let's review the materials. You need a piece of cardstock that's 5.5 by 4.25. You need another piece that's 4 by 4.25. A third piece that's 1.25 by 4.25. And that one needs to be scored at 1/4 inch only on one end. And then your last piece is 5/8 by 1.25, and you're going to score it at 1/4 on both ends. This will leave you about an 1/8 inch between those score lines. Don't worry about that. You'll see why in a little bit. Then we needed some basic beige, vanilla, or white, 3.5 by 4. Coordinating DSP, you needed 2 pieces at 3/4 by 4. You needed 1 piece at 3 7/8 by 4 1/8. Another piece at 1 by 3 3/4. So the 3/4, 3/4, 3 7/8, and the 1 are all your width. It made a difference with my paper because I have flowers. I said coordinating cardstock or metallic cardstock. I'm using metallic, a 1 1/8 by 3 7/8, but you do what works for you. Glue and dimensionals. I don't know that we're going to use dimensionals. I won't be. You might be. Stamp set for your sentiments, greetings, and images. Coordinating ink, coordinating ribbon, coordinating embellishments, and this is going to be a fun fold card. So before we start, I just wanted you to know that I kind of created this card. This is my original card. I was looking on Pinterest for something different, and I saw a couple ideas, and I was like, yeah, that's okay. I'm kind of running out of ideas because I've done so many of them, 87. So I said, oh, I like that card, but not totally. And I kind of like this one. So what I did was I took bits and pieces from a couple different cards and created a card myself. So I hope you like it. Excuse me. Okay, so let's take our 2 pieces and score our 2 pieces. So you've got that 1.25 by 4.25, and you got 1 fold on the end, 1/4 inch. So score that. And then you had that little piece that I told you not to worry about. So I don't know if you can see it, but you got your 1/4 inch, 1/4 inch, and there's a little 1/8 inch in between. Excuse me. So I am going to fold them both on that 1/4 inch, and you'll see why I've got that little space in between. I had fun creating this one. Yes, trying to craft along tonight. Good. Vesta's trying to make a card too. Good. Hi, Michelle. Good evening, Nancy. Nancy, are you inundated with snow? I was just reading before I came on that the snow is starting to stop. I don't know what areas it's stopping, but I know Pennsylvania, they said it was slowing down. Okay, so you're going to have a piece that looks like this when you're done. Okay, you have that little tiny space in the middle. Okay, so let's set that aside. Okay, let's go to clue number 2. So you're going to take your 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and this is your orientation. Your 5 1/2 goes left to right. And we're going to take those 2 strips that were 3/4 of an inch by 4, and we're going to center them about, the usual distance from the edges. So this is the paper I'm using, and you can see that there's bronze in there. Okay, so center them to the right and the left, and glue them down. Because these are so small, I'm not doing it my usual way. So, try to get them centered pretty much the same on all 3 sides. Okay. Someone said they were from Pennsylvania. Michelle, you had 13 inches. Where do you live? Wow. My children and my brother all live in New Hampshire, and they're supposed to get a foot to 2 feet, depending on exactly where they are in New Hampshire. So, lucky them. That's why I'm in South Carolina and not still up north. And it's a little bit crooked. I'm going to leave it. Okay? Now the next one says center and adhere that 3 7/8 by 4 1/4 DSP. Yep. Onto the 4 by 4 1/4 cardstock. So when you put it on, check, because there's one side that's just a little longer than the other. So make sure you've got it going to see this one is not the right way. And then make sure you've got it going upward. For the most part, this is not going to matter. These are so all over the place. Okay, so you make your usual borders. Okay, I'm going to set that aside. Okay, let's glue this one down. 14 inches. 14 inches now in Pennsylvania. Blah. No, thank you. And it's cold too, I hear, because we're having a lot of wind. And I saw in the news that you guys were having heavy, strong winds too. That doesn't help. Okay, so this is going to be my top. Okay, so that's the end of clue number 2. 3 says center and adhere the 1 1/8, yep, the 1 1/8 by 3 7/8 to the coordinating cardstock, or a cardstock or metallic, to the coordinating 1 1/4 by 4 1/4. So this is my 1 1/8 and this is my 1 1/4. Okay? So you're going to glue these two together. Try not to let any glue, if you're doing metallic, try hard not to let any glue seep out because it really disfigures it. Okay. Okay. We only got about 3 to 4 inches in northeast Pennsylvania, but it's getting cold, about 28 degrees. Oh my God. But real feel is 8 degrees. Oh my God. So we're supposed to go down to 22 tonight. Now, we don't see this very often down here in South Carolina. So we got to run our faucets and all that other stuff because we don't have basements. So we don't have anything to keep those pipes into the house warm. And that last storm we got, we lost. We broke a pipe outside of the house, though. It was outside my craft room, actually. Okay, now centering it here. These two pieces to this. Okay, now there's that extra 1/4 inch. So fold that over so you can be sure to center it with that whole piece. You know what I mean? Not, I gotta put my camera, not with make sure the flap's out of the way and then center it on what's left. Okay? Ah. Okay. I don't remember storms like this. I lived most of my life up in New Hampshire. I don't remember storms like this for a while. This has been a tough winter. Okay? Okay, then it tells you to center and adhere this unit that we just finished to the 4 by 4 1/4 unit, leaving that scored tab free. Okay, so you're going to center it on here. So I don't have the inches on here. Yeah, I do. Okay, so it's 4 1/4, so 2 1/8 should be about your center. Okay, see how I'm doing that? It's 4 do I have the right side? Yeah, your 4 1/4 is your width. So 2 1/8 would be your center. So do your best to get that centered around 2 1/8. Okay, but do not glue this. You're just gluing the rest of it. Okay, I'll check that again. So that gives me about a 1 3/8 on that side. And it gives me 1 1/2, so I need to move that over. So 1 1/2 there, 1 1/2 there. Good, I'm centered. I just want to make sure it's straight now. And that my fold is up there, not getting in the way. So now this is what it looks like. Now it says to center and adhere this unit. Oh, that's the end of 3. Four says center and adhere the scored tab to the back of the card base. So you're going to center this. Okay, so make sure these edges go over pretty much the same. And make sure that you're touching at the top. There'll be paper under here, so there won't be. Okay, and I'm pretty satisfied where I got it. I'm going to turn it over, and I'm going to put glue on that little tab. Okay, now flop that over. I want a little more over here. Come on. Okay, now flop that over. And you'll feel it move ever so slightly. Okay. So now score that. Burnish that. And flip it back over and burnish it from this side. Okay. So now, remember I told you I left 1/8 of an inch? That's why, because we wanted that space so the card wouldn't get hindered by the edge of that card, so you got that space. Okay. Okay. Then center it here, the 4 by 4 1/4 to the 5/8 by 1 1/4. So this is our little 5/8 by 1 1/4. Remember we scored at 1/4 inch on both of them. Okay. Now this is going to go in here to strengthen this little lid, because it could very easily move around because there's not a lot holding it. So what I did was, excuse me, I put on one side at a time. I put on this piece first. And make sure you're only folding up to that fold line, and then press it down. Make sure you're staying on the card. I'm a little crooked here. Okay, see how I have that? So this is my second one, which is going to go up here. My first score line is right there. And try to make it as straight as possible. Okay. I'm going to burnish it a little bit. Okay, everybody with me? Now I'm going to put glue on that second 1/4 inch tab. And then I'm going to lay it on that piece there. And now you can see you've got an even space in between here. And this is going to give it that extra reinforcement, but it's not going to tuck it so hard against the card that you won't be able to open and close it. Okay, so that's what you should have. And then when you close it, it's going to be tight at first because that's not it's not a fold per se. Then you just score it again. Okay, not score it, but burnish it. Okay, and there you go. Okay, that's number 4. Tie a piece of coordinating ribbon around this 4 by 4 1/4 top piece. So the last time I made this, when I did my prototype, I didn't leave enough, so I couldn't tie a bow. So I'll show you when I kind of created something different. Now tonight I'm going to try to do it again, but I probably won't be able to. You watch. Okay, so wherever you'd like it. If you'd like it up towards the top, way up by the top, down a little bit more, whatever you'd like. So I'm going to put mine right about here. And then so what I did last time was I pulled this tail out instead of making a bow. Then I pulled both of these, and I had a bow that looked like that. So I thought it was kind of different, so I left it. Instead of trying to cut another piece of ribbon, I just left it like that. So I thought it was kind of different. So you just trim your edges, your ends as small as you want them, short as you want them. But I thought it was kind of neat. It's kind of different. Goes with the different card I made. Okay, so we'll get rid of those. So you make your bow however you'd like. And if you're concerned that it's going to wiggle too much, you can just put a glue dot underneath it. So I think I'm going to do mine right about here. I get to go that way just a little bit there. So the knot's in the middle. It's kind of different, huh? Okay, that's the end of number 5. Number 6 says stamp a sentiment on your 3.5 by 4 cardstock. Be sure that 3.5 is your width. Okay? Oops. How did I do that? I have 4 by 4. Did I make a mistake on that? My white cardstock is supposed to be 3.5 by 4. So mine's a little bit big. And the 4 should go top to bottom. And then, yeah, I'm going to go trim that. So stamp your sentiment if you desire on this. And I'm going to go cut this down about a 1/2 inch. 3.5 by 4, yep, so I need a 1/2 inch off of it. Okay. So that way you got a little space in between. So once you've stamped it, center and adhere to the inside. I am not going to stamp mine, as you know. I wait until I need it. I thought this would be a great thinking of you birthday. Might even be able to do a sympathy like this. Yeah, I think that looks pretty nice. So there's lots of uses for it. So make sure your edges are lining up as best they can. And then glue this down. Thank you, Jane. Yeah, I love that DSP. And you know what? I've made so many cards with it that I am just about out of this one here that we're using tonight. So I'm going to have to order another package. I've made about 4 or 5 cards with just this one alone. So I'm I'm gonna need another package. But they wouldn't let me order it because I already met my amount I can order before it goes live. Okay. There. And it stands up very nicely. Of course, this is slippery paper, but it does stand up nicely. Okay, that's 6. Number 7 says embellish as desired. So I love these dots, especially the blue ones in the middle here. They're so versatile. They go at so many different things. So I'm going to do my 3 of those. So I've been cutting so much stuff lately that my blades ran out because I've been making folios too. I think I told you about that. So I went to order some more blades because I'm down to just 2, and it says these are temporarily out of stock. I'm like, are you serious? Blades. Okay, I'm gonna put one there. Then I think I'll put one over here as well. So you get that triangle. And there's a little bit of gray in here, so that's why I like that gray, and of course the white. Isn't that pretty? So that is, you're welcome, Vesta. It's pretty simple. It wasn't too hard. That is the end of that, and so I'll show you the other one I made, and they're twins. They're exactly the same. Oh, actually, this paper's darker. I used Misty Moonlight, and here I use the Secret Sea, because that's the color that's in there. So after I did Secret Sea, I loved it, but I said, I wonder what Misty would look like. But they're pretty much the same card. And then, of course, this bronze pulls out the bronze in the card, so it makes it even look nicer. And then, like I said, I'll stamp it when I'm ready. So that is my cards for this week. Now your original Fun Fold card is complete. Take a picture of it and post it on Michelle's Craft Cottage. I absolutely love to see your cards. I love to see what your selection of paper and cardstock turns out to be. Most of the time they look pretty much the same, but every now and then we see something a little different. Thank you for joining me on mystery card number 87. I hope to see you next time on mystery card 89 on March 2nd. Can you believe it's March already? March 2nd at 7 o'clock. Please make sure to say hello. Thank you for sharing, Tony. Please be sure to say hello, comment, and or like, and please share my video. It gets more people coming in. Thank you very much. I hope you like your card, and please be sure to share it on your site and mine. Thank you, ladies. I've enjoyed it. I hope you have too. Bye-bye.